What if someone told you this was a new photo from the James Webb Space Telescope? Would you believe them? What about this one or this? Well, they're not. In fact, all three of these are just the same image with different color channels turned up or down. And it turns out there's a lot more to this image than meets the eye. So let's take a closer look at it. If we subtract the red channel from the green channel, we get this image which is exactly the same as the blue channel. So this means if we subtract the red channel from the composite image, we get this. The thing is, though, this image was originally uploaded to the Mikio archive by another user who simply did this for fun. The Tarantula Nebula is a massive star-forming region located in the Large Magellanic Cloud, a satellite galaxy of the Milky Way. This image here is just a tiny section of the larger mosaic. And you may be wondering, why do astronomers need to take such a large mosaic to observe such a small region of space? But if you want to see it for yourself, you can head over to the Mikio archive and download the full resolution FITS files. They can use this image to study how the dust is distributed in the nebula and how that dust is affecting the formation of stars. They can also use it to study the properties of the young stars that are just starting to form. Overall, this image is a great example of the power of the James Webb Space Telescope and what we can learn from studying things that might seem ordinary at first glance. It'll take a few minutes to download, but it's well worth it. Well, it's because the James Webb Space Telescope has a field of view about as wide as the full moon. And astronomers needed to take thousands of images across the entire sky to map everything in it. While it looks similar to the real image, it's actually just a fake that I made using Photoshop. And when you look at just one image in the mosaic, it's often difficult to tell what's going on. However, when you put all of the images together, you get this beautiful and informative image of the Tarantula Nebula. Obviously, this is not the real image of NGC 3324. The reason I made this fake is that I wanted to show you the power of the James Webb Space Telescope. The thing is, though, it's just often difficult to find good examples of JWST images online because most of the images that are shared are either already heavily processed by NASA or are of famous objects like the Pillars of Creation. These images were then stitched together to make the largest and most detailed map of the universe ever collected by a single instrument. It wasn't until later that scientists realized that this image could actually tell us something interesting about the star-forming region NGC 3324. There you can browse through thousands of images and even download the full resolution FITS files. I spent several hours browsing through the images on the site and I was amazed at the quality of the images. The James Webb Space Telescope is truly a marvel of modern engineering, and I'm excited to see what else it will reveal about our universe. You see, the dust in this image is not just some leftover junk from the formation of the nebula. It's actually an important part of the process by which stars form. As stars form, they release jets of material that form these beautiful hourglass shapes. This material eventually forms cocoons around the young stars. And when those stars begin to shine, their light bounces off the dust in these cocoons, making them glow. By subtracting the red channel, we've highlighted regions where there is a lot of light in the green channel but not in the red channel. Now this is just one image in a mosaic of over 1,000 images. The entire mosaic is truly a sight to behold. There's so much detail in it, it's hard to know where to start looking. There are these beautiful pillars of creation that have become a bit of a James Webb Space Telescope icon. There are also these amazing red dots scattered throughout the image. These are young stars that are just starting to form. And there's even evidence of supernovae remnants in the image. And this happens to be exactly the same as the blue channel. This is a star-forming region called NGC 3324 in the Small Magellanic Cloud, a small satellite galaxy of the Milky Way. The image was taken by the James Webb Space Telescope in October 2022 with the NIRCam instrument using filters that pass red, green and blue light. Like, for example, if we add the red and green channels together, we get this image which looks just like the composite image NASA released to the public. But what about if we turn down the red channel and turn up the blue channel? This is the image that you saw at the start of the video. It doesn't look much like a normal astronomical image, does it? No stars or galaxies or anything like that. Just a bunch of dark patches on a bright background. That makes these three color channels. Here's what they look like individually. But we can also combine these images in different ways to make new images. But what if I showed you this image? Do you see anything familiar? That's right. This is just the negative of the original image. Now this might seem a bit weird, but it's actually a pretty common technique in astronomy. Astronomers often use what's called a Hubble palette to highlight certain features in their images. A Hubble palette is just a way of combining the images in a way that highlights certain features of interest. In this case, the red and blue channels of the Hubble palette highlight the dust in the image. Dust tends to absorb red light and reflect blue light, hence why this technique works so well for highlighting it. And this is actually the first time that this technique has been used on an image from the James Webb Space Telescope. You see, this image of NGC 3324 is just one image in a huge mosaic of the entire Tarantula Nebula. But back to this image, while it may not look like much, it actually tells us something pretty important about star formation in NGC 3324. So by studying how the dust is distributed in this image, astronomers can learn more about how stars form. Unfortunately, I can't show you the entire mosaic here because it's just too big. While this image is certainly pretty, it's also pretty useful for astronomers studying star formation in NGC 3324. The thing is, though, this image was not actually taken by the James Webb Space Telescope. I think this is important because I think it's easy to forget that every single one of these images is just a single image in a huge mosaic of over 1,000 images. If you want to learn more about the James Webb Space Telescope, I highly recommend checking out the website. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this in the future.